You say, well, what does abiding mean? Guess what, football fans? You know what abiding means. You abide in it every year. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry because of you. Because you know how to abide. You see, because you have a 60-minute game. It's 60 minutes. They prolong it into 3 hours, okay? So that's the first thing. But then you showed up 3 hours prior. If it was a 1 o'clock game, you showed up at 10 so you could tailgate and get ready for the 3-hour experience. So now you're 6 hours invested. Don't let it be a night game, because I've seen some of you when I'm driving to the game. I've seen you there. You've been there since 2 for the 8 o'clock game. Okay, so then for a 60-minute game, you're already invested 6 hours. Then after the game, I don't want to fight traffic, so I got to hang out in the parking lot and do a little bit more post-game tailgating for another hour. So now I'm 7 hours invested. I get in my car, I drive home. While I'm driving home, I listen to the radio, the analysis of the game I just was at. And we want to listen to that analysis. And then we disagree, we might even call in. So then you take an hour to drive home or an hour and a half, and now you're 8 hours invested. And as soon as you get home, what do? Turn on SportsCenter. You got to watch SportsCenter's highlights, and then you watch that for an hour and a half because they know you'll watch it for an hour and a half. So then you're 9.5 hours invested. But NFL Network might have something that SportsCenter missed, so now I got to turn over and watch them. So by the end of the day, you're 11 hours invested into a 60-minute experience in which you have nothing to do with. This is not God. You have nothing to do with it. And so you're invested in this. But not only that, you say, well, I could do that for one day with God. No. Because on Monday, the cycle starts again because you got to check your fantasy stats. You got to make sure your lineup is set. You got to do all those things, right? You got to check the scattering reports, the injury reports, all that stuff. What's going on? Try to get it. NFL Network exists because you know how to abide in the NFL. Sports Talk Radio exists because you know how to abide in the NFL. Anybody listen to Sports Talk Radio this week? They don't have anything to talk about because the NFL's over. So you tell me if you know how to abide. You tell me if you know how to engage with God. You do. It's called the NFL. Give God half of that time that you spend with that, because you do it Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And by Friday, now what you got to do is start preparing for the next tailgate that's going to happen on Sunday. And we do it over and over and over again. Give God that kind of devotion and watch the changes that happen in your life. Your marriage isn't what you want? Give God that. Your relationship with your kids is, you know, it's rocky, your kids are out. Give God that kind of time and see if something starts to change in your life. Be a real man. Reject passivity. Engage with God.